Hey, 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 who's ready to find out how to get customers beating a path to your door on autopilot without putting more on your plate? If you're an overworked business owner, if you fall victim to the trap of working more in your business than on your business, you are absolutely positively in the right place. Let's go ahead and pop over to the PowerPoint so I can start sharing my screen. An error. We don't like errors. I don't want to say okay. Well, we're just going to go with it, and we're going to hope that it doesn't have a problem. I'm going to go to slideshow. Try it one more time. Camtasia PowerPoint add-in. So then we're just not going to use it. We're just going to wing it and go for it and do the slideshow. Boom, from the beginning. So I want to welcome you to the web class. It's not going to be too long tonight. I'm going to try to not embellish my stories and talk too much, but I do want to share with you something I'm really excited about. I have discovered the way to get customers beating a path to my restaurant and bar and other local businesses' door on autopilot automatically without having to work more in or on my businesses myself. I'm going to share my weird secret that had us actually turning folks away at the door 3 times in 1 week so that the fire marshal wouldn't shut us down, and how you can ethically knock it off in less than 10 minutes to fill your bar, restaurant, or whatever type of business that you have every single night or every single day. I want to make a quick earnings disclaimer. I can tell you you're not going to get 10,000 new customers beating a path to your door or lining up at your door the first day. At first, I just wanted to get some new customers coming to us. I wanted to get customers on autopilot. I had heard about this holy grail where you could get customers coming to you, and I wanted that for my business too. I figured if we could just get 10 customers a day, heck, that would be 300 new folks a month, and that would be more than enough to sustain and actually grow our business. Currently, I have 17 businesses, each adding between 10 and 344 customers per day on autopilot. How would you like to have the same going on for your business? Well, hang on, because that's what we're going to talk about. But first, I want to share Thomas's story. Thomas was one of our first businesses to test Customer Catcher for his restaurant. In just 7 months, our worst performing restaurant became the most profitable. What started as a test has been rolled out in all our locations and put our expansion plans on steroids. So as we get started, it behooves me to ask you to please take the things that I show you in this webinar today and use them to make your business fantastic and awesome. But also, these things could be used for evil, and they could be used for hurting your competition or for harming other businesses or other people that you come in contact with. And I just need a couple of you to comment, I won't use the powers for evil, or I'll be good, or something like that in the box, just so that I know that we're all on the same page, that we're all here to make the world a better place. And that means using things to help our businesses, but never using them to harm anybody else's. So who is this for? Well, if you have a restaurant or bar business right now, then this is for you. If you don't have a restaurant or bar yet, it is still for you. The truth is, if you have any type of business or want to have one, this will work for you. It will help you to automate your customer handling so that you can focus on and pay attention to the things that are your area of expertise, the things that you love to do. So what the heck is a customer catcher, and do I need one for my company? You're probably asking yourself that, right? I was asking myself that. Well, I like to explain it this way. These are 2 girls. I've got my high school class reunion coming up this weekend, so this is why this story really hits home to me. The girl on the left was the girl that got all the attention in high school, all the positive attention. She attracted all the guys wanted to date her. All the girls wanted to be like her or be her best friend. Unlike the girl on the right, who attracted a lot of attention, but it wasn't always the type of attention that she wanted. Sometimes it was negative attention. And sometimes we feel like we'd rather have any attention than no attention, which is the case in the girl on the right. So who would you rather be? The girl on the left who's attracting a type of attention, the type of customers and clientele you want, or the girl on the right who's attracting the type of attention and the type of customers and clientele you might not want for your business? It all boils down to a couple of things, a couple of questions. Do you want to make money in your business? Do you want folks lining up at the door ready to spend money at your place? If the answer is yes to both those questions, you are absolutely in the right place. My goal for this web class is simple. It's to show you that the only way for you to exponentially grow your restaurant and bar is through handling customers on autopilot. And the only way to automate your customer handling is through Customer's Catcher. Just for staying to the end, I want to offer you the Blue Plate Special. Is my gift just to encourage you to stay to the end and hear about this amazing way to improve your profits and your business. I'd also like you to pay attention. I actually put my cell phone in the other room for a change. I remembered today. But shut the door. Put your phone in the other room. Give multitasking a rest just for a few minutes. You owe it to yourself and to your business to pay attention. So who the heck am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. I've been a key player in 7 different restaurant groups, either as an owner or part owner with other partners, in a really diverse array of different formats and restaurants. Pizza place, Italian dining, fine dining, a sports bar, a steakhouse, a resort, a malt shop, comedy and nightclub, and counting. I'm always kind of got my fingers in different type businesses and industries. I've worked in really various industries in my corporate career and in my business ownership. And I've worked in all kinds of industries within the food chain or the food industry itself. As supplier, manufacturer, service provider, you name it, I've kind of run the gamut throughout my career. I have performed most jobs and tasks in a restaurant or bar, from remodeling to taking out the trash to cleaning after a disgruntled owner left a property. He shouldn't have been disgruntled. Just going to say that, to all things managerial, operations, and ownership. And I did that for a couple of reasons. One, I'm a very process-oriented person. I'm an engineer by profession and trade and education. So I like to see how things work. And my corporate jobs were all about quality and how departments work within themselves and how they worked and they interacted with one another, because that's how you grow your business. I've had amazing coaches and mentors over the last 40 years. I know I'm kind of old, but in different industries and different roles, in corporate America to entrepreneurial to real estate to all different businesses. So not only have I been in a lot of different industries, I've had some of the best coaches and consultants that I've worked with, both in my corporate career and since I've been owning my own businesses. I have made and saved companies, including my own, actually hundreds of millions of dollars. When I wrote this, I don't know why I was thinking tens of millions, because it's actually been hundreds of millions of dollars. These are just some pictures of my life now and what it's like. My beautiful daughter at the cabin. I don't know, just some fun shots of people I love and adore hanging out with. My beautiful granddaughter, getting my nails done. Just fun. But it wasn't always that way. Back a few years ago, before I got involved in my own businesses full time, I went into my boss's office one Friday afternoon, because it always seems to happen on a Friday, and he informed me that my job was being eliminated and I no longer worked there. Now, I took it pretty well because I kind of knew it was coming. The company was a privately held company. It was been for sale kind of secretly, but we had a big buyer, a bigger corporation came in and bought us out. And so I knew it was just a matter of time before my job would be eliminated, because what usually happens in those situations, especially in the quality function, the parent corporation, the mother corporation takes over those type functions. And so I pretty much knew my days were numbered, but I was hoping it would be after the holidays. This was the week before the week of Thanksgiving, which is never a good time to get let go. And you got the holidays coming up and a whole bunch of unusual things and expenses. But I took it like a trooper, because I understand, I got the big picture business reason for it happening. You know, even if it hurt my feelings a little, I still got it. So I went and packed up my office and said goodbye to everybody, gave them hugs because I'm kind of a hugger, and got in my car and started to drive home. And I was good, I thought, until I hit University Avenue and I burst into tears. I'm not a crier. I'm not the kind of person that really cries. So for me to be bawling in my car as I'm waiting at the light to turn on 94 to drive home, I'm like, what the heck's going on here? I mean, waterworks. We're talking waterworks, mascara dripping down my chin and everything. And I was headed home to see the kids and my husband, and I realized that, okay, there's a whole lot going on here behind the scenes. My husband had recently lost his job. His company actually went out of business. They went belly up, and he had gotten no notice, and they hadn't even gotten their last paycheck. So he had been out of work and kind of looking for the last few months. We'd also just finished building our dream home. We'd just moved into our dream home in the spring, and it's a great house. I'm actually sitting in it right now, getting ready to move as part of my divorce because not married to my husband anymore. But this house comes with a big house payment. Even though we helped and we were our own general contractor, you know, it costs a lot of money and all of our savings to build this house. So I'm kind of in panic mode. I don't think I've ever had a panic attack, but I suppose that would have been the closest thing to it. And I knew I had to get control of myself. I couldn't go home and be all upset. I'm supposed to be the rock in my family. So I couldn't go home and let my kids see me all upset. So I started thinking about, well, what do I want? What do I want? Because I know if I focus on what I want, it gets me out of the moment of the drama and what I'm feeling right now. I wanted to make money. I wanted to be able to support my family because I like to eat and my kids like to eat. I also wanted to spend more time with my kids. In my corporate career, I was coming off of a little over 25 years at this point, and my corporate jobs had always been really, really demanding. I was a quality executive for some of the biggest corporations in the world, and as such, that meant that I had to work long hours and work a lot, and I had to travel a lot. I remember one year I missed every single holiday and event in my family's life. It was terrible, and then I soon switched jobs after that. But I knew what I wanted. I wanted to make money and be able to hang out with my family more and spend time with them. So I started thinking about a little problem solving and decision making tool that my dad had taught me when I was a little girl. And I just renamed it the PSDM system so that I could teach it to my peers and the people that reported to me, and they wouldn't be offended because it was so simple. Because really all you do is you take a piece of paper, you fold it down the middle, put a plus on one side, a minus on the other, and then you write down all the reasons to do something and all the reasons not to do it. And that helps you to actually get a picture on what you're considering and really think through, should I do this or shouldn't I? Because we actually always usually know what to do. We just need to see it in black and white to show us that it's okay to make that decision from a rational standpoint. But emotionally in our gut, we usually pretty much know which direction we want to go. So my dad always taught us to write this down, and normally I would do that, but since I was driving, not a good idea. So I just started thinking about it in my head, and I started weighing a couple of options because we always have options. Well, I could job hunt. Now I'm over 40 at this point, and the thought of job hunting and going up against the college kids, it was just like yuck. I just got that yucky feeling. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to renegotiate for my 4 weeks of vacation. And I was already working too much and missed half my vacation anyway. So I didn't want to play that game anymore. Now, about 20 years earlier, my partner and friend, business partner, we had started an Italian food manufacturing business. We started small and we're building it, but the business had always only ever been built. We only built it up big enough to support her family. But it was always in my mind that I wanted to own my own manufacturing business. And so I thought maybe this is a sign that it's time for me to take that leap of faith and jump into the business with her. So by the time I'd gotten home, I kind of decided that that's what I wanted to do. So I told my husband, didn't really tell the kids that I'd lost my job. They didn't need to know. They were young. And we went about our merry way. I broke the news to my partner that I was going to come in and work on the business with her, and we were going to grow it so that it would support both our families. But I had only gotten a 2-week severance as separation from my previous company, which wasn't enough to tide us over for anything, because as awesome as I am at growing businesses now, back then I wasn't. And to grow that business that quickly, it wasn't going to happen in 2 weeks. Let's just put that out there. Let's be a little bit realistic. Most of us have systems and things that we need to put in place that we're not going to grow our business really, really big and really, really fast, like 2 weeks fast. So we went from just over broke, because me working, we were doing fine. But without either one of us working, and house payments and car payments and four-wheeler payments and food and things, we went to just under broke really, really fast and sinking even faster. We were joking one night about robbing a bank, and we laughed because neither one of us were qualified to do that. We got a lot of skills, but bank robbery and nowhere in there. So I ended up having to do something even harder. And that was ask my amazing parents if they could help us out with our expenses while I worked on building the business. Now, I don't know about you, but again, I'm over 40. I've always been pretty fiercely independent and taking care of myself. And here I am having to ask my parents who are in their retirement years if I can have them help me to feed my family while I build my dream of having my own business and not having to go back to corporate America. And I'm lucky. My parents are so amazing. My father's passed away now, but at the time he was alive, and they helped us out. They helped us out for over a year, and I am so grateful for that. But every single day I owed them money just broke my heart. So I had a chat with my dad, and I knew exactly what I had to do. I actually had been struggling. We've been struggling for a month or so to build the business, and I couldn't sleep one night. And I don't know about you. Do you ever lose sleep in your business because there's stuff going on and you're not really exactly sure what to do? Well, that's the situation I found myself in. So I woke up like in a cold sweat, and I remembered conversation that I had with my dad. And every year he had gotten my sisters and I and our spouses to help sell fireworks every summer. And we sold fireworks, and we did rodeos and all kinds of amazing things. But we sold fireworks to help put our kids through college. And every year my dad would be sitting in the back of the fireworks stand, usually sipping a beer in this crappy old torn up leather chair. And he'd pull one of us aside and he'd say, look, it's a feeding frenzy. And he was absolutely right. There would be lines at all three registers, people lined up in the entire place from the front to the back, holding just overloaded beer flats. We used beer flats before we got shopping carts. And they would just be, even the shopping carts, when we got them, they'd be overloaded with stuff because people were coming in to get their fireworks, and they would come back to our place year after year after year, mainly because we were awesome. We loved fireworks as much as the people that came to buy them, and we knew what everything did, and we could explain what everything did, and we'd help people get really good packages. We'd mix up stuff that they would love based on what they said they wanted. So it was just all in all fun. But I knew exactly what I had to do when I had that dream, and it reminded me of that conversation. I knew exactly. It was like a light bulb had gone off in my head. I had to create a feeding frenzy for my business. I had to figure out how we were going to create and recreate that same feeding frenzy for the Italian food manufacturing business. So I began to look at all the different ways that we could attract customers to us. Some things worked, some things were a complete and utter disaster. But I discovered that the secret to having a successful, profitable, growing business is to get customers coming to you. My secret plan was to not only do it for my business, but then also to do it for all my others' families' businesses. We're from a really entrepreneurial family. So we had a bunch of businesses, and I wanted to prove that I could do it for my business, but then I also wanted to prove that I could do it in all their different type businesses, because we had a lot of different type businesses as well. The problem was, it was a lot of work. It took a ton of time, like 4 months. It took a lot of people, and it took a lot of money to build this hodgepodge system to attract customers to us. But what's possible now is so many things. This is just some pictures of my life now, and it's like night and day. It's amazing. Had our best sales day, or my personal best sales day, was $797,000. Some cool people I get to hang out with. My daughter's a photographer. My son loves to travel, although he's not doing so good right now. He was in a car accident. That's my house. And you can't see the garage because it's covered with my fingernails and my flowers, because I love fresh flowers. I love getting my nails done, and I love getting my hair done. Now, when I turn this on later, you're going to see my hair, and you're going to start laughing that I actually said that. I promise. But the best part of it, the best part of all of this was, the best part of getting customers coming to us on autopilot is that I was able to be the primary caregiver for my beautiful granddaughter for the first year of her life while simultaneously running the Italian food manufacturing business. How would you like to be able to do something like that? Take the majority of a year where you dedicate almost all of your time, because I had her between 11 and 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. How would you like to be able to do that? Spend 11 to 12 hours a day doing what you love with those you love and care about, instead of attracting and finding and trying to get customers to come to your business and then knowing what to do with them when they do come to your business. Well, after 40 plus years, remember I told you I'm old, I discovered the hard way. If you've been struggling, it's probably why. You're probably trying things and piecemealing things and guessing and being sold the latest and greatest shiny object by different people, but none of it in a coordinated effort to really get what you want accomplished done. The hard way, we were forced for the last 40 years, actually the last year and a half, we haven't had to do it, but up until then, to do it the hard way, we had to hodgepodge and cobble all these pieces together. And I didn't have these skills. I'm not a designer or a web designer or a programmer or a copywriter. I can write pretty well, but not good copy that gets people attracted to my business. Had to hire media buyers. We had to do extra R&D. All of these moving pieces had to be hodgepodged together. And again, this first one cost us over $35,000. It actually took more like a year, not 6 months, or 4 months. But now once we got that one running and smoothly operating, we could recreate it. And it only took about 2 to 4 months. It took 2 to 4 months. I think the longest one was my dad's business. That took 4 months because he had a complicated business. And the shortest one was a restaurant. And we knocked that out in like actually 4 weeks. It wasn't even 8 because we had our system down at that point. Here's just some of the things that we did, and we tried to attract customers and get customers coming to us. We did everything. I stood in the frozen food department of grocery stores who are our customers' customers, because this was a B2B business. We actually only sold to restaurant chains and grocery store chains and grocery stores. We had some one-off grocery stores, independents, and we had some convenience store chains. But for the most part, it was all B2B. We did a couple of events too, and so we would sell to that event, but that was a wholesale account too. We only sold wholesale products to them. So again, B2B. But here's some of the crazy things we did. We did media buying, trade shows. We would sponsor booths at trade shows. We did flyers, signs, direct mail, you name it, we did it. But I'm going to show you the easy way in about 15 minutes right on this web class. I'm going to walk you through an actual customer catcher for one lucky restaurant owner. Who wants to see that? Woohoo, me. I do. But first, I want to share 3 secrets of customers catching with you. Secret number 1, I call customers catching, how to ethically steal your competitors' customers and they won't even know it hit them. Secret number 2, customer catching on autopilot, the guts and the heart of your operation with respect to handling customers. How to put your customer catching on autopilot with a push of a button. So simple, even my 2-year-old granddaughter could do it. And secret number 3, actually kind of my favorite, my number 1 secret competitive advantage, how to bulletproof your restaurant or bar business no matter how many new joints open up in your area. So let's hop right into secret number 1, how to ethically steal your competitors' customers and they won't even know what hit them. Well, you're probably thinking, how the heck are they not even going to know what hit them? If I'm stealing their customers, if I'm getting their customers coming to my place instead of theirs, how are they not going to know? Let me ask you a question. How much attention do you pay to your competitors right now? Do you know everything that's going on in their business? Do you know everything they're doing? Do you know if one of your customers goes to their place or not? One of your regulars, let's say. Yeah, I didn't think so. You're probably like I was, so busy running around, running your own business, minding your own business, keeping your place in line and making sure it's successful. You don't have time to be too worried about what Dick or Joe are doing down the road, right? Well, neither do your competitors. In corporate America, stealing customers or spying on the competition, it's really just part of the business game. It's part of how we operate. And it's not really spying. I call it doing your business research, actually paying attention to what's going on around you so that you can serve your customers better. To me, that's like the core definition of good business. And in corporate America, actually, I learned this in college. I learned how to do something called a SWOT analysis. It's a structured analysis where we consider the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of the organization we work for and some of their key competitors so that we know what our strengths are so we can build on them, so that we can mitigate or make sure that our weaknesses don't become a competitive advantage for our competitors. We know what the opportunities are. What are our competitors not doing that customers really, really want? And then threats, things in the environment. Maybe there's going to be a law change. One of the big ones in Wisconsin several years ago was the smoking ban. Just like, once California and Minnesota and all the other states did it, Wisconsin followed suit and made it illegal to smoke inside bars and restaurants and buildings, most buildings. And so you couldn't smoke anymore. Well, in Wisconsin, drinking and smoking for a lot of people go hand in hand. And so that was a huge environmental change. And you need to know about those kind of things so that you can plan in advance. I mean, we added a whole deck to one of our businesses, actually all of our businesses that had smoking as part of them, so that there could be a smoking place within the business for people, but it was separate from everybody else. So those are the kind of things that I mean by environmental threats. Now, if we want to achieve success, all we need to do is find a way to model those who have already succeeded. Tony Robbins is one of my favorite mentors, and I love so much of what he does. But one of the big lessons I've learned from Tony is find somebody who's doing what you want to do, and that proves to you that you can do it too. You don't have to copy them, but you can model them and succeed so much faster. So over the course of the years, I came up with this 5-step process for spying on the competition, for stealing the competitors' customers, and they won't even know what hit them. So let's go through that quick 5-step process. Step number 1 is to find your competition. You get to define who your competition is. Now, since I was a quality director or quality vice president in my jobs in corporate America, I would pick, usually 5 to 10. But once I got out on my own and have my own businesses, I would consider as many different competitors as I could. So sometimes I would find 20 competitors for a business that I was working on if it was my business. But you get to choose who those competitors are. Step 2, find out where their customers are coming from. So where are they getting their customers? Are they running ads? Are they doing direct mail, like these mailers that come around? Are they doing inserts in the newspaper? Are they doing demos? Are they sponsoring events? Are they couponing? Are they hanging flyers on bulletin boards? What are they doing? Where are they getting their people from? Step 3, put your business in front of them. Put your business in those same streams of flow of where people are. It's really interesting. Traffic's a really interesting subject. It's called traffic, but really all traffic is where are the people at? Where are my people at? Where are my customers hanging out? Because if I can put my offer in front of them, then they'll come to my place. That leads us to step number 4. Offer them what they want the most. What do your customers want the most? These are the 5 top reasons that people buy. Make money, save time, avoid pain, or to gain pleasure. If you can incorporate one or more of these into your offer, people will choose you. If you can get 2 or more, you're golden. And then watch their customers, watch people flock to your place. Here's Helena's story. We've added 517 new and repeat customers to our restaurant since we launched our customer catcher. The goal is to add 1,000 customers, and at the rate we're going, it's looking like we'll reach that before the end of the year. So who does this work for? Well, what type restaurant have you got? What type bar have you got? What type of business or establishment do you have? Fine dining restaurants, fast casual, any cuisine, any format, from food carts to fast food to healthy alternatives to big fancy restaurants, whatever. Sports bars, pubs, dive bars, elegant wine dessert bars, coffee and tea cafes, breweries, ice cream shops, independents or chains, any place people go to eat or drink, this will work for you. It works for all types of bars and restaurants. If you don't see yours on this list and you want to see a case study, just put it in the comments and I will send you and hook you up with a case study of who this has worked for in your same type of business or industry. It actually works for all types of businesses. I have put this customer catcher system into, I can't remember how many different industries, probably like 37 different industries. And food, restaurants and bars are just one industry. So who wants to know my favorite place to spy on the competition? It's actually a software tool called SEMrush, semrush.com. And my internet, it actually has 2 bars right now. So I might have been able to demo it. But last week I tried to demo something and it was terrible. And so I just got a screenshot of this so I could share it with you. There's lots of sites like semrush.com. There's tons of them. This is one of my favorite because it's got a free version. So I can hop on there and I can do a little bit of research, and it gives me enough information to do my research, do my competitive analysis, and go about my merry way of doing what it is that I'm going to do for my business, all in one fell swoop. So I went ahead, we just had a Panera Bread open up in my town. And so I thought, well, I'm going to see Panera. So I pulled up Panera, and you can see Panera's data there. I can't see it without my magnifying glass, but it tells you where their people are coming from. They have 4.3 million, and this is a little old now because I grabbed this screenshot a while ago, 4.3 million organic searches for the month, 19.1 thousand paid searches. So they're just almost all people organically looking them up. And then backlinks, 135,000. And then they had no display advertising for this. So period. And then it breaks down the keywords or things, if you know what those are. I'm getting into technobabble or nonsense or too much detail, but it breaks down what the people use to describe, to search for their restaurant and what it comes up as. It breaks down who they're linking to, and all kinds of online technical things that you might not have any idea about, but are important when you're doing research and trying to figure out how to put yourself in front of their same traffic. So I want to show you a couple of our customer catchers. I just pulled a couple out of my account so I could give you an idea. You can change how these look and how they feel to absolutely anything you want. But I just wanted to pull them up so you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an automated system that lives on the internet that can automate all your customer handling for you. This is our fast casual customer catcher. And these are just templates that you can use and change any way you want. And here's our sports bar customer catcher. So what will yours look like? What will your automated customer handling system look like? The sky's the limit. It can look like anything you want. So that's secret number 1, how to ethically steal your competitors' customers and they won't even know it hit them. Let's run through those steps to steal them again. All you have to do is find your competition. Decide who you want to compare yourself to. Find out where their customers are coming from. Put your business in front of those customers. Give those customers what they want more than anybody else and watch them flock to your business. It doesn't really take a whole lot of spying or a whole lot of effort to make that happen for your place. It really doesn't. So now you know how to ethically steal customers from the competition and they won't even notice. So let's jump into secret number 2, customer catching on autopilot. How to put your customer catching on autopilot with the push of a button. So simple, even my 2-year-old granddaughter could do it. Now, a while back, I had a massive health challenge. And as a result of that health challenge, I realized I had to make huge lifestyle changes. Not little lifestyle changes, but huge lifestyle changes. So in the true fashion of modeling behavior that succeeds, I knew I needed to get healthy. So I looked for people that get healthy, and I realized that they exercise on a regular basis, like a lot. Like professional athletes practice their craft every single day. So I got the idea that I would exercise every single day. And I told my friends and I told my family. And of course, they all scoffed and laughed at me because they knew me before I had this health challenge. And, you know, I lived on Diet Coke, coffee, and jalapeno chips, and maybe some chocolate caramels thrown in for good measure. I never exercised. I ran around like a chicken with my head cut off working on my businesses, but I never exercised on purpose since I got married. I used to run and do things in college, but boom, that all died when I got married. Nope, and had kids. It was running after the kids. It was running in my businesses, running in corporate America, but it was not getting any time for myself or time for exercise. So everybody laughed at me and said, no way, you're going to fail. You're setting yourself up for failure. Nobody can exercise every day for a year. And I'm, you know, one of those people that if you tell me I can't do something it's as good as done. I'm a rule breaker, I guess. I'll admit that. I was always a believer in asking for forgiveness, not permission in corporate America. And it served me really well. I don't necessarily recommend it, but it worked for me. And so I told everybody to just watch me. I've always had a strong belief and background in continuous improvement. I always believe that there's always a better, faster, easier, more efficient, more effective way of doing absolutely anything on the planet. We just haven't figured it out yet. So I knew, number one, that I could exercise every day for a year, but I also knew that there had to be a better way for me to be doing this customer handling and automating this customer handling. There had to be ways to continually improve it and make it faster and easier and more efficient and more effective and less cumbersome to manage. Well, I absolutely was right. We made a little progress here and a little progress there. But this is just a list of some of the stuff we had to do. We had to do a lot to put one of these together. But about a year and a half ago, I discovered a brand new way, a much better way, a way that I was so excited about that I jumped right in with a big investment and became a certified partner for the tool that we put our customer catcher system on top of. It's a tool called ClickFunnels. And ClickFunnels allows you to clone a funnel. So those templates that I showed you, we can actually just push a button and that can move right into your ClickFunnels account. You can customize absolutely anything and everything on them. It's incredible, the power of this tool. You can collect customers, you can wow your customers, you can build steady streams, again, I'm getting into detail, of communications with those customers and nurture your relationships and build relationships with them, all on autopilot. Here's just a flow chart of ClickFunnels. All ClickFunnels is an automated selling tool. So it's like having your best salesperson working for your business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Never needs a break, never needs a day off, never needs a vacation, never has to go to the bathroom, never has to take a smoke break, nothing. Always available, always up, always delivering the same awesome message to the people that you want to attract. So, one lucky customer, one lucky business owner who wants to watch me build a customer catcher for them. Yay, I want to watch me. Now, if this isn't going to work, I actually pulled up, and I don't know if that's going to work, but I pulled up the YouTube of this because I tried to do it last week and demo it, and I forgot to show you how to do the push of a button, and I forgot, do not allow this play. I recognize this content, allow it to play. We're going to hope it plays this time. Continue. Yay, it actually showed up. I'm so excited. So I'm going to play this for you, and it's just a quick walkthrough in the back office of ClickFunnels that shows you how we put a customer catcher for Matilda's Cafe on top of ClickFunnels. We built it in ClickFunnels. I guess when I say on top of, I mean we built it in ClickFunnels, but this is what we structured out for Matilda. So let's take a look at this right now. It's going to play. It's going to play. Maybe.
All right, here we go. Demo ClickFunnels and customer catchers. I am going to see how long it actually takes me to do this. Got a set of old headphones on, so I'm hoping that they work, and my microphone to try to eliminate the feedback and things that I get off of it otherwise. So here I am in my ClickFunnels account. You can see I've got lots of funnels in here, but what we're going to do is we're just going to pick one of my templates, and I'm going to show you how, with the push of a button, we can create a customer catcher for you. This template is called Fine Dining Customer. I just grabbed the first one that I came to. And when you do that, you then go to your Settings tab. And on your Settings tab, right below Settings, you'll see this Clone Funnel button. You push the Clone Funnel button, and as if by magic, that funnel is copied into your account. So all I have to do, if you're a customer catcher, is send you this clone funnel or a link to this clone funnel, and you can, just like I showed you with the push of a button, in under 30 seconds, have this funnel as is in your account. And then you can go about customizing it for your particular business. Now, the business that won this week and entered her business was a lady named Matilda. She's got a cafe, and it took me a little longer than 15 minutes to create this for her, given her artwork and what she wanted for designs and details. But I've got it here, and I'm just going to walk you through some of the features because I can't possibly show you how to customize everything in 15 minutes. I actually thought I could, but with my computer connection and trying to record simultaneously, it just takes my computer too long to get from screen to screen. But we will go ahead and walk through her funnel. And all we did, well, her funnel or her sales process or her customer capture is exactly what this is. This is a system for her to capture customers with this first page, this squeeze page. And we're going to go ahead and click on that and show you. And then we've created for her a membership site, which is a way to get customers to come back to her place at whatever frequency she chose. And we decided to offer for her, and I'll go into the details of that. I'm going to show you the page. Let's go ahead and preview this so you can see what it looks like to a customer. It's pretty simple. She didn't have her logo handy, so we just used a little lady to fill in for her logo. But these are the colors and everything she picked. And what she's offering people as an incentive to join her members club is a free pie. They come into her place and she gives them a free pie. And all they have to do to get that is enter their name and email, and now they're on her list, and she can begin sending the automated communications that we're creating for her together, that we've already created, and she's just customizing actually, to follow up and to encourage people to continue to come to her business. But it doesn't stop there. We also, for her, created an upsell, which is this membership site I was telling you about. It's a sales page. And what she decided to offer as an incentive for people to come to her business was once a month, she will give whoever comes in that's a member, they can order whatever they want for breakfast, whatever they want for lunch, and whatever they want for dinner. And her menu prices are within a range that she's comfortable with doing that, providing, one of each meal per month for her customers. And then she's also going to create a custom special dessert just for each customer every time that they join her for a meal, including these meals and other meals. So if somebody comes in for breakfast, they can get a muffin or whatever, or a caramel roll or something along with their breakfast. And if they come in for their lunch and dinner, they can get, whatever she's got on the menu. But she's also going to create some special desserts that are only available to you if you're a member of the Matilda MC members only special group, because they'll have a special menu. And I guarantee those will be absolutely mouth-watering desserts that are displayed in a prominent place in order to get people to sign up for this program. We've had a couple of discussions about that, and she's really excited about some of the things that she and her friend Sandra can create to make this really special for their customers. And that's $47 a month. So we've created this and set it up as a membership site to encourage people to come back to her restaurant pretty much weekly or pretty frequently. If you're paying $50 a month and an entree or a breakfast, so $10, you're going to want to come 4 or 5 times to her place. And this works for her and her business and what she's trying to achieve with it. And she's pretty excited about it. Now, in addition to this, we also created an upsell package for her and for her business. We're going to skip to that. This is set up as a one-time offer, but what it does, and we don't have her video available yet. We didn't have it available to plug in here, so we just plugged in some random catering guide that I found on YouTube just for demonstration purposes to show you. But what she's offering is a $3,000 value package, a catered event or holiday meal for $997. But the cool thing about this is she can charge up front for this meal and plan accordingly, and they get an awesome deal. They get 2/3 off, which is an incredible deal. But she gets cash flow and money. Let's go ahead and look at this in the preview mode. For having pre-sold this, it's kind of the same principle of selling gift cards. You sell gift cards ahead of time, and there's always some percentage of those people that don't redeem them, but you want them to, because you want them to come to your business and be satisfied and have a great experience with you and your organization. And so that's what she's offering here. She's like, I can definitely do that. We can think of some really cool things to do for people and some special event type things, and for birthdays or holidays or whatever the person that buys this decides they want to do, she'll tailor make it and do a menu with them to make sure it's a memorable and special event. And so that's what she did for her upsell. And then the other pages in this funnel are just what make it work. The how to take money part, the order form, the thank you page where people can then redeem and find their programs. So I can just quickly show you that those are in here. And she just went for kind of a country, homesy, home cooking look and feel for her site. As you can see here, it's kind of the checkerboard, and then how to take money. This is automatically generated for you, so that works out really, really well and is easy. And then again, the rest of this is made up of the thank you page. I guess we missed the order page. We could go back to that. Here's the thank you page. Simple. Gives you a step-by-step what the customer needs to do. Again, her logo is not available yet. And the order form, just so you know what it looks like. And there you have it. Everything's set up and everything's on autopilot. Now, in addition to this, we've got a series of emails and other communications that are built into this system for her. She's actually working on customizing those, but they would fall under this automations tab. So for example, when someone orders, a whole series of emails can be sent out and messages sent out to continue to communicate with the people that join her club. And we can do the same thing for you. We've got all of these. We've got several series of emails set up in advance. So all you have to do is plug in your information, and you can use these same emails with your details to continually communicate with your customers on autopilot. So there you have it. That's all there is to setting up Customers Catcher on top of your ClickFunnels account. If you have any questions, let me know.
All right, we're taking a little break. It looks like I snuck out. We'll figure it out. So, does that look exciting? Does that look like something that would help you to attract customers to your business? Did you see the power in that? The power of, number one, getting paid up front for events. Can you see how that would help your cash flow? How about people on a membership or loyalty program paying you in advance or monthly before they even come in? Would that be a benefit to your business? Uh-oh, why did that open again? Well, we'll get it. I always get it. I don't think it would be a day if I didn't have some kind of a technical difficulty, right? There we go, Jake. We're adding about 10 people per day to our system. It is making the slow nights fun and kicking our cash flow in the ass. We're profitable for the first time every night of the week. We used to have to count on the weekends to cover the weekdays. I don't know if you have a business like that, but several of my businesses over the years, I used to call it exponential smoothing, because we would just average out the sales from different days of the week, and we would look at the average, which isn't always a good idea, because in some instances, in some businesses, we would have actually been better off shutting down on Monday and Tuesday nights and not operating. We had a liquor business that was like that we should have shut and closed Monday and Tuesday and then been open just Wednesday through Sunday, because it cost more to be open and to pay somebody to be open than we ever made in sales. So there are businesses like that. But this system helps you to kind of control and reward people for coming in on the slow days. It's very powerful. So you can do this, or you can have somebody do this for you. You don't have to do this. This is proof that if anybody has ever done what you want to do before, that you can do it too. And there are thousands and thousands of people. Actually, I think it's 65,000 people now using systems like this to bring customers to their businesses on autopilot. I've just showed you the tip of the iceberg, but there's so much more that you can do with it. But that's it. Push of a button to get this basic system and a copy of the template in your account. Push of a button, the same button, push it again to bring in the email series and the sequences. And now there's chatbots and all kinds of other things and web notifications and there's a whole lot more tools that are integrated with it that just make it so much more powerful and easy to automate things in your business. So you can focus on making awesome food or serving great drinks and taking good care of your customers when they come. So that's it. That's how to put your customer catcher on autopilot with the push of a button. So simple, even my beautiful 2-year-old granddaughter could do it. And I just had to sneak in another picture of her. So secret number 3, my favorite, it's my #1 competitive advantage. How to bulletproof your restaurant or bar business no matter how many new joints open up in your area. Now, I know how competitive the bar and restaurant industry is. There are a billion, I don't know if you might not know this, but there's a billion restaurants and bars in the world. There's only like 8 billion people on the planet. That means there's a bar or restaurant for every 8 people on the planet. Now, I know that's a weird way to look at statistics, but you get the idea. It is a super competitive environment. It is a super competitive industry. There's a reason that 95% of businesses, bars and restaurants fail in the first 5 years. It's not a coincidence, but it doesn't have to happen to you. And I want to illustrate that with a little story. I call it bar 1 and bar 2, but it's really bar restaurant #1 and bar restaurant #2 because they're both restaurants and bar combinations. Bar #1 I've been associated with for decades, really long time. Know the owner really well, and he had the cool, amazing opportunity to be the #1 go-to place in his community for about 5 years, a little over 5 years. He was the go-to place. And yeah, there were lots of competitors there, but his was the hopping place. It was the place that everybody went to hang out. Well, bar #2 owners saw this, saw an opportunity, bought an old crappy establishment and did an incredible rehab job on it and built up a whole new business. Well, pretty soon when they opened up, they started taking business from bar #1. Bar #1's owner was freaking out. He was, having health challenges. He was doing dumb things in his business. At one point, he told me that he even got an offer, a really lowball offer for somebody, and he was considering it. And I said, oh, stop. This is what I do. I can help. Let me help. So lucky for me, he's been a friend for a really long time. And he said, okay, I'm desperate. What can you help me with? And we worked together over about the next month. And we really dug in and did some really fun things with his business. We looked at and learned and figured out all kinds of cool ways to get customers back, coming back to his business from bar #2. Whenever a new place opens up in town, everybody, I don't know if you're from a small town, but whenever a new place opens up and it's got some hype and some coverage, everybody has to go there and check it out. I hang out with a group of women business owners, and we go out once a month, and every time we go out, we go to a new place. So we check out at least 12 new places a year because it's fun for us. It's fun to go check out the new places. Now there's some that we'd never go back to, but there's also others that we just find and they're like our new favorites. So that's kind of normal human behavior. But over the long term, or not even so long term, but the short term, you want to get your people back. And that's what he wanted. He wanted to get his people back. Now, originally he thought he wanted everybody back. So we did a little old school investigative work, and for a couple of weekends we sat down at the bar on Friday and Saturday night when it was bar time, it's called in Wisconsin, closing time. Well, after the restaurant's done serving, there's several hours where it's just bar. And so we sat down and we were I was actually a little bit horrified. I don't know if he was as amazed as I was, but we saw a urinal get ripped off the wall. We saw a couple of bar fights. We saw one guy punch his hand through the front glass window. We saw another person pull a globe thing down from the ceiling, one of these disco ball things. It was just kind of mayhem. And so that gave me an opportunity to illustrate to him that maybe 21-year-olds, testosterone, and large sums of alcohol wasn't the best combination. And, yeah, he wanted a lot of customers back, but maybe there were some that he didn't want back. And that really led into us being able to attract his ideal customers back, not everyone. And it's a good thing we did this work because In the next 9 months, 7 other new places opened up in the area. And he confessed to me later that he guarantees that he would have quit the business had we not done the work that we did with him and automated his customer handling so that he didn't have to worry about that. And he knew that he had his right customers coming to him automatically day after day, week after week, month after month. So where are they getting their traffic from? One of the things that we did study and we figured out and did research on was SEMrush, but also there's another site that I love called SimilarWeb. It's similar to SEMrush, but it has other different, more detailed information. And part of the research that we did digging into his area and the restaurants and bars in his area was on these 2 tools because they are so powerful. And some of the things that you can find are, and I just pulled 5 restaurants in our area. There's like almost 100 or maybe more now, but when I did this, there were I think 95 or 98 different restaurant bars in our area. So I just pulled up some restaurants. I did Panera Bread because I had done that on SEMrush earlier. I did Applebee's, Starbucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Wendy's. And I chose them. We have all kinds of other restaurants and bars in our area too, but I chose them in his area because I knew they would have a website and they would have information on these tools. Now, the really interesting thing about the restaurant and bar industry is the vast majority of restaurants and bars have no web presence. They've got nothing. They don't have a website of their own. All they have is maybe a listing on one of the review sites. Now, do you want to leave the fate of your business in the hands of third-party reviewers? You are just one pissed off customer away, one of those people that you can't satisfy no matter what, away from destroying your business. Are you okay with that? I sure wasn't. So that's another reason I think that you need a customer's catcher. Now, here is, again, just a screenshot of SEMrush that shows the information for Panera Bread. I already showed you the same one. I didn't mean to grab that. But here is SimilarWeb and some of the information that you can find on there. If you look at that, you can see where each of those different entities that I described, where their direct customers are coming from, where they're getting mail customers from, referrals, social media, organic search, paid search, and display ads. And you can see what they're doing and how much they're doing for each of these categories. You can actually see samples of ads that they're running that are successful and how long they've been running. And this is actually the samples and pictures of the ads that they're running. So say you have a similar client that you want to attract to your business, like Panera Bread. Well, here's the ads that are working for them. So if you have similar clientele, you don't have to copy, but you can model their ads. You know what's working. You do your own custom things. You do your own logos. You do your own colors. But you can get an idea of the style of ads that work for them. It even describes and gives samples of their video advertising if they're doing video advertising. So now I know things from doing this research. I know where they're advertising, what they're saying, and who they're after. And the ex-husband is here mowing the lawn, so I'm going to close the windows. Sorry about that. Okay, Kat. It's almost dark, so I wouldn't have expected that. Sorry. One thing about webinars and live webinars, you never know what's going to happen, right? It's always exciting. There's always some cool things going on. Hopefully he'll mow the far side and he won't mow right around the house. So spying on your local market. I just did a little bit of research on the local market. And again, it was really interesting. One of these businesses that are shown on the screen is doing a really good job. The other 4, not so much. And some of them are national chains. And 2 of them just have what I was talking about. They just have a presence on the review sites. And these pictures here are just of a menu site where you can have your menu listed on a website. Scary. That is really scary to me. And they're doing social media things, some of them, but not what I would consider anywhere near enough to bank your business or to put the future of your business in. So we know a couple of things by doing this research. We know that the best performing restaurants, they're doing something. They are doing something online. They are doing something to get customers coming to them. They are doing something either that's modeling the best in the food and beverage and restaurant industry, or they're modeling other industries. They're doing some form of customer catching or customer engagement on autopilot. But the vast majority of the competition, They're not doing anything, nothing. How scary is that? It's like the worst type of hope marketing imaginable. It's like believing in the field of dreams. If I build it, they will come. Well, yeah, if a bunch of angels come, you're awesome, but that's probably not going to happen. You've got to have a way, a proven system for bringing people to your business. Any type of business, if you're going to be in business. All of our businesses need customers, right? I don't know of a single business that's a business that exists that doesn't rely on customers. If you know one, put it in the comments box for me, because I would love to hear that. So again, if I model what works, if I get my best customers coming to me on autopilot, if I get them to visit more often, to spend more money, and to bring their friends, I can watch my business, my bar or restaurant thrive. It's as easy as that. Here's what Wanda Washington had to say. We're getting about 2 to 4 new customers a day in our automated online system, Customers Catcher. I love repeat happy people who like being associated with our little wine bar. I just don't even think about competition anymore. We love our customers now. Wine, don't whine is our motto. Now, Wanda actually worked with me, and we set up this whole system for her before she opened her business. She was flexible. She wasn't sure exactly what kind of business she wanted to open. She knew she wanted to be something hospitality, but the format and her target audience and things, she hadn't done any of that. So it was like a clean slate. So we did all that work in structuring for her. We did some competition, competitive analysis, and some market research, and we figured out that a wine bar was there was a whole segment of the population in the area that wasn't being served. And what they wanted was just like a wine and snack late night kind of place where they could go and have adult conversations. So they didn't have to deal with the 21-year-olds with testosterone overload. And she actually opened her wine bar with no outside funding. She pre-sold her membership site and some special products like Matilda did, some packages, and was entirely self-funded. Now, who would like to do that? Yes, the answer is yes. Probably thinking competition used to be scary, right? But not anymore. Really, the only competition is you and what you do and how well you serve your customers. I always laugh at the people that get all bent out of shape when a Walmart or some big box store moves into their town, because they just don't get smarter and wiser and target in on who they can serve better than Walmart, because Walmart doesn't serve everybody very well, right? Yeah, they're cheap, but the only thing they compete on is price. There are so many other things to compete on and to serve people better than just price. We can only have one lowest price competitor, right? Everybody else has got to figure out something else to be known for. It's just a matter of our abundance versus our scarcity mentality. There's plenty of business to go around. And one of the biggest lessons that bar number 1 learned was that there was plenty of business for not one more competitor, but for actually 8 more competitors, and they all are doing well. So now you know how to bulletproof your restaurant or bar business, no matter how many new joints open up in your area. So the 3 secrets, what we've covered. Secret number 1, how to ethically steal your competitors' customers and they won't even know what hit them. Secret number 2, how to put your customer catcher, your customer handling on autopilot with the push of a button. So simple, even my beautiful 2-year-old granddaughter could do it. And secret number 3, how to bulletproof your restaurant or bar business no matter how many new joints open up in your area. If I model what works, if I give people what they want, they'll beat a path to my door, and competition is irrelevant. So let me ask you a question. I've been talking, I don't know, I didn't see what time we started, probably almost an hour now. I know when I hop on these calls, a lot of times I get it. I see how it would work, but I get a little bit overwhelmed in terms of thinking, well, how do I apply that to my business? I am already working a ton. I barely have time to listen to this webinar, much less apply this to my business. So if I have a way to show you how to apply this to your business quickly and easily, would you want to hear about it? If we could get a couple of you to comment in the comments box, that would be awesome. I am super excited to share with you Customers Catcher. And this is for other people, so ignore that. That's just an application if people want to actually create done-for-you customer catchers for bars and restaurants. So what are you going to get? What do you get as part of Customers Catcher? Well, first off, it's a 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass. And in this masterclass, we figure out identify and nail down the process that you're going to use to do all of your customer handling. Not just getting customers coming to you on autopilot. That's just step one. We're going to talk about your entire customer experience, how to wow them, not just make them happy or satisfy them, but to make sure that you don't get any of those business killing negative reviews just because somebody's on PMS or having a bad day, right? I can't believe I just said that. My daughter would kick me. She wouldn't really kick me, but you know what I mean. Competition eraser, how to take care of the competition and make sure that you never have to worry about competition again. Customer communications, customers for life. Our goal is to always create customers for life because a repeat customer is much cheaper and much more profitable for any business, especially in the restaurant and bar business, than having to acquire a new customer. Here's what Alicia had to say. With Customer Catcher, we got 23 new customers our first week. Now that we have the Catcher perfected, we're on track to get 100 new customers this month. I never thought it would work for my little cafe. So again, who does this work for? Any type restaurant or bar, any place where people go to eat or drink, really any place where people go to exchange value, it will work. Any business that needs customers. Does your business need customers? Well, then this will work for you. Jackie McDonald said, I used Customer Catcher to buy my resort restaurant. I got it under contract, then used what I had learned to double our average nightly sales in only 8 months. The increased revenue covers monthly payment. So Jackie was able to fund the purchase of her restaurant and her dream. George, I love George. I've never had an actual business before Angles. I followed Sharon's instructions, set up a Customer Catcher, and my first try sold 17 people on my front end offer, a free plan, and 4 people bought my $247 package, which was his upsell, like Matilda's $997 deal, that he had a $247 package. So you might be doing the math in your head and saying, well, Jesus, that's not even $1,000. But it was on his first try. He's gone on to make tens of thousands, I think hundreds of thousands of dollars now through this system. And actually, he didn't even build it. His fiance did. Kim is one of the people not in the food business. She actually has a liquor store. Here's what she had to say. I was not sure Customer Catcher would work for my business or me, but since it was guaranteed, I had nothing to lose. I set it up and forgot about it. 2 weeks later, I checked it out and was flabbergasted. I wonder where all the new folks were coming from. Now, I'm going to ask you a question which you do not have to answer in the comments box. Do you have a customer handling system? Do you have a process that you use for attracting customers to your business, getting more customers, communicating with those customers, building a relationship with those customers? Do you have a system like that in place? Yeah, I didn't think so. I would say almost nobody has a comprehensive system like that in place. And that is the number one reason people don't get started with us, because they feel guilty that they don't have anything going. So I want you to put your mind at ease and have you rest assured that most people don't. I don't have a statistic on that, but I know that it's got to be at least not a comprehensive system. Just because a business has a website doesn't mean it has a customer handling system or a way to attract customers. So as the Blue Plate Special, I decided to make this the Blue Plate Special. I'm going to teach you and show you how to set up your customer handling system. And this is whether you join us or not in the program. I'm going to show you, I'm going to gift you this, that number one, you can set it up right if you don't have one set up yet. And number two, if you do have it set up, you can check and verify that you've got everything you should have and could have in that system to automate and make sure that it's a perfect and a really good system for your organization. I call it the customer fast restaurant bar customer system creation. It's a mouthful, I know. So what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass at $4,997 value. What else do you need to be successful at this? Well, I call this Customer Catcher Swiss Army Knife. This is actually the system that we have that we build on top of ClickFunnels. Now, you get a 14-day free trial of ClickFunnels. I want to be really clear. I am a certified partner for ClickFunnels, but ClickFunnels is a totally separate business and entity. You do not have to have ClickFunnels to do this, but I'm going to tell you, it is light years easier. It's not just a little bit easier. It's not a little bit less complicated. It is light years, night and day easier. I actually devoted 3 months of my life. I took off from my businesses and I devoted 3 months full time to learning how to use this software. That's how excited and how powerful it is. And I became a certified partner, so I know exactly the ins and outs of it, so we could apply it to the different industries that I first applied it to in my family and my businesses, and now restaurants and bars. I wanted to make sure that I knew everything I could about this incredible tool. So what are you going to get? The Customer Catcher Silver Platter membership. All that you need to put your customer handling on autopilot, to attract your customers, to communicate with them on autopilot, to handle and manage their experiences. Now, keep in mind, I shouldn't even have to say this, but you're in the hospitality industry. You're serving people food and drinks, right? When they come in, you're going to have to serve them food and drinks. This assumes that you already got that covered, that you know how to do that, and you're doing a great job, and you just want to automate the front end marketing and sales and customer handling of your business. So you'll be able to do all these things on autopilot. Attract new customers, get customers to come back to your place whenever you want, increase how often they return, influence how much they spend, have your best customers spreading the word about your business, about your spot, see customers bringing their friends to your establishment, and watch your sales and profits soar, plus much, much more. You'll also be able to get rid of all these things. All of this software and tools that you might be using to piecemeal assist the other, assuming you're doing something and that you have a system. And you won't have to worry about competition anymore. You're not going to have to worry about profitability and cash flow, because you can just turn up the volume on your customer catcher and get more customers coming to you faster and easier. Promos, ads, events, restaurant, bar growth obstacles, attracting new customer doubts, worries, anything, thing of the past. This is just some of the things that the customer catcher system solved for me. Doubts over attracting new customers, worries about customer handling, fears about the competition, troubles with profitability, cash flow, and sales, concerns about dealing with customers for life. We didn't even talk about customers for life. That is one of the key things that I make sure you understand and you calculate inside the class, because you have to know, what is a customer worth to you in your business? Now, all by myself with this toolkit, I can create an entire customer handling system that runs on autopilot in a couple of hours for the price of a burger out a day. How would you like to be able to replicate that for your business? You can, with the push of a button. You might be thinking, well, what happens after a year? I just put a year on the last slide because I don't like to get overcarried, because things change in our industries, in every industry, and I don't want to have to go in and change it too often. But I figure at least once a year I'm going to revisit and decide if I want to change my communications or how I build relationships with my best customers. You might be thinking, I'm not technical, right? Well, neither am I. I am the most non-technical engineer that I know. Only did about probably 5 or 6 engineering, what I considered engineering projects in my entire career. You might be thinking I don't have the time, right? Don't we all think we're too busy? We're doing too many things in our business already. Well, you don't have to have a lot of time to do this. You might be thinking, I don't want to, right? Well, you don't have to. We can actually we can train somebody up for you. So what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, $4,997 value, and the Customer Catcher software and 14-day free trial of the ClickFunnels, $3,564 value. It's a total value of $8,561. So what else do you need to know that this is something that you've got to have for your restaurant and your bar right now? How about more stuff done for you? How about access? I call this Customer Catcher Killer Communications. Yes, that is me. That is where I actually had a sudden cardiac arrest. How about access to all of our successful campaigns, all of our traditional media cheat sheets, all of our direct mail stuff, everything, my entire swipe file, our lumpy mail campaigns, our Dream 100 campaigns, everything that's worked to build our businesses, not just in the restaurant industry, but in other industries as well. At your fingertips, you have access to, and much, much more. So you can create consistent customer engagement and get a steady stream of customers coming to your place on autopilot. How does that sound? Can you see how that might make your business and your life a lot easier? So what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, $4,997 value. Customer Catcher software and the free trial, a $3,564 value. And the Customer Catcher Killer Communications, a $1,997 value. It's a total value of $10,558. So what Tina had to say: I love teaching people how to cook, but I hate selling. I spent a few minutes editing the email and text messages, attracting new customers, and filled my classes for the fall. I was struggling to keep the doors open before coming across Customer's Catcher. I'm so glad I did. Now I'm thinking about adding another instructor. Tina's actually added 3 instructors since I created this. What more will help you? What else do you need to make this a no-brainer for you? How about a ninja? I love ninjas. Customer Catcher Ninja. It's all about experience, engagement, captivating, and keeping your customers coming back for more. Customer Catcher Ninja, again, you might be thinking, oh, isn't it wrong to spy on the competition? That doesn't seem fair. Well, life isn't fair. That's what my dad taught me. And it's not about being fair. It's about being smart and running your business to the best of your ability. There's nothing wrong with doing market research and knowing what's going on around you, because most people aren't doing it. Again, with great power comes great responsibility, and the ninja's got a lot of inside information. He knows shortcuts and hacks to winning. Some of the ninja wisdom that we discuss and we learn about is customers vote with their wallets. Whoever gives customers what they want the most wins, hands down. Customer cash equals business cash, meaning if I have a big pile of customers, I have a big pile of cash. A repeat customer is like 7 to 10 times cheaper than a new one. The customer is not always right. I hate when people say the customer is already right, because they're not. They're human beings too. All customers are not created equal. You can pick and choose your customers, and your business is entirely up to you. So what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, $4,997 value. Customer Catcher Software, $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, $1,997 value. And the Customer Catcher Ninja, a $1,997 value. That is a total value of $12,555. Here's what Kevin had to say about Customer Catcher. The Ninja helped me put 107 people into our Customer's Catcher in 45 days. We focused on the customer's experience and made sure it was amazing. Making sure people have a great time at our place keeps them coming back for more. That and the world's best desserts. So what is the last thing that you need? What else do you need to know that Customer Catcher is right for you? How about a competition eraser? Customer Catcher competition eraser. Who else wants to make their competition disappear? Not literally, but just figuratively. Well, the Customer Catcher competition eraser shows you that if you do exactly what we do, you can leave your competitors in the dust, eating your dust just like ours do. Competition eraser has you going after your best customers only. You give them exactly what they want. You value, acknowledge, pay attention to them, increase their status, and the game is over. You win hands down every time. We might be thinking, won't my competitors get mad at me? And I'm going to tell you, like I said earlier, they probably won't notice. And if they notice, then that causes them to step up their game too. When 9 places were competing for customers in Bar 1's area, everybody had to get better and serve customers better. So not only did the businesses win, but so did the customers. Customers got better service and better treatment everywhere. So it just raised the bar for everybody. And then you might be thinking, well, people are going to talk about me if my business starts getting a ton of customers and doing really, really well. Well, yeah, and that's a good thing, because word of mouth is the best form of advertising. And the truth is, people are going to talk about you one way or another. So you might as well be an example instead of a warning. My friends and family are going to think I'm doing something illegal. Somebody actually told me this the other day, and I'm like, seriously, I got to put that in here, because don't your friends and family know you better than that if you're all of a sudden flush with cash and a ton of business? I hope so. If they don't know that, I don't know how to help you on that one. I like to think they know you better than that. Of course, unless you're doing something illegal, and then I can't help you either. Call your lawyer. Or you might be thinking, what if the environment changes? What if something outside of my control happens? Well, the cool thing about all this work that you're doing with customers and handling them automatically is you're creating like a bubble around you, a bubble of protection. I always tell my kids, sometimes you just need a bubble of protection from the environment and all the crap and the negativity that's getting thrown at you. Because having loyal customers that defend you, they'll defend you against everybody. They'll defend you against haters. So if that one bad review pops up, you don't even have to respond to it, because you'll have people, your avid, rabid fans, defending you without you having to say a word yourself. That is an awesome position to be in. The competition eraser was just what I needed for my restaurant clients. The customer catcher has allowed us to reallocate people to higher return activities. Now one person manages customers for all our sites, 22 and growing. We used to have one person per location. Mike actually has a restaurant consultancy. So what are you going to get with Customer Catcher? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, $4,997 value. Customer Catcher software and ClickFunnels 14-day free trial, $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Ninja, a $1,997 value. And a Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, make your competition disappear, a $1,997 value. It's a total value of $14,552. Now, if all this did was finally get you just 10 new customers a day, would it be worth it? The nerdy engineer in me did the math and figured out that even at a very low end, the lowest end possible restaurant, that equals an extra $39,000 extra income a year, a minimum of $39,000. Would it be worth it? If all this did was help you to share your place with more people, would it be worth it? If all this did was give you the ability to cancel all the monthly tools and stuff that you're currently using to glue together some kind of a customer attraction or customer handling or customer catching activity, assuming you're doing something, I'm not going to ask so, would it be worth it? If all this did was let you get some of the things off your plate so you can actually enjoy the reason or reasons that you started your place in the first place, would it be worth it? Well, hell yeah, it would be. At least to me, it was worth it. So I had two choices. My first option was to go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible. Wasn't much incentive for me to really stack on the value there. The second option requires a little bit higher investment on your part, but in exchange, I can devote more resources to guarantee your success. So what's getting customers to come to you on autopilot worth to you? There's only 3 ways to make more money in any type of business, not just restaurants and bars. I learned this from Jay Abraham. He's a famous marketer. You get new customers. Most people know the get new customers ones, and all they do is chase new customers. Sell more to existing customers and increase the amount of the customers spend when they come to your place. How much would you pay to get this happening for your place automatically? This customer catcher cost me $429,450, but it made me $797,981,000 in one day and millions of dollars up to that day, leading up to that day. Now, you can see why people are paying us $25,000 plus 10% of the profits, up to $250,000 to set this up for them. You can see why it's a good deal at $5,000. Price right now for the general public is $2,997, but because you're here and I want to offer you a special opportunity to help us revamp and improve the customer catcher, the online version, for today, just $997 by going to customerscatcher.com/go. Small investment of just under $1,000 today to put all of your customer handling on autopilot for your restaurant or bar, for your business. Wow. So again, a quick recap. What are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, $4,997 value. Customer Catcher software and the ClickFunnels 14-day trial, $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Ninja, $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, $1,997 value. It's a total value of $14,552. But there's more. In addition to all this, I'm going to offer you lifetime access to our private Customer Catcher Facebook group. You get it free with your investment today. So you can do it now or you can do nothing. I love that graphic. Now you have 2 choices. I had 2 choices. Now you have 2 choices. Your first option, you can do nothing. Just keep going on like you're going. Do nothing, not take this little leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free, by the way. Or your second option is to pony up this small investment today compared to all the value you're going to get in return and just give it a shot. Now, if I can't make you money, then I don't deserve yours and I don't even want yours. So we have the 30-day money-back guarantee. You can sign up today if you don't like it for any reason. And I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from right now. Just let me know and we'll give you your money back. The real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Which if it does even half of what I claimed today on this training will pay for itself as soon as you get your first customers coming to your place on autopilot. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but the average, not even the average, the lifetime value of a customer for a restaurant is at least $6,000. Remember bar number 1? We actually calculated out for him, and it was $6,792. Now, if one customer is worth $6,792, then less than $1,000 investment to get that happening on autopilot, because you're definitely going to get more than one customer, right? How much is that worth to you and your business? So what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, $4,997 value. Customer Catcher Software, $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Ninja, $1,997 value. And the Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, a $1,997 value. It's a total value of $14,552. Now, for the first 17 people only, I'm going to do something really special. We are going to do a live weekly Q&A call. I'm going to hop on the phone with you, and you see what my time is worth, right? And we are going to get your specific questions answered. This will be just for this round, this special round. I'm going to hop on live and do these calls with you. We'll be recording the calls and putting them in the members area so everyone will have access to them, but only you 17 will be able to get on the line, get your specific questions answered. I think we're going to do it as a Zoom call. I love Zoom calls because we all can see each other and interact, so it becomes more of a mastermind than just a Q&A. But if it gets over 20, it gets to be pretty cumbersome. So I like to keep it at about, 17 to 20. So if you already have a successful restaurant or bar business, but you're looking for more customers, if you're struggling in any way and you really need to find a way to automate your customer handling, then you need this. If you don't have a bar or restaurant yet, but you know that there's one or more in your future, then this is the right way to start off. This is the way to start off on the right foot. This is the way to make sure you set your business and your system up for success. Well, and your business up for success. Frankly, if any business, any type of business needs more customers, then this works for them as well. I've shown you some powerful things today. The only way for you to exponentially grow your restaurant and bar via sales and profits is through getting more customers, handling customers on autopilot. And the only way to automate your customer handling is through customer catchers. I'm also adding a super secret special bonus for the first 30 people only. I'm on a team, a confidentiality agreement team that's producing a mobile app that is geared for users. It's a free app for users, but it's going to be very, very beneficial to restaurant and bar owners. And so for the first 30 people, I have been authorized to offer a 6-month, $6,000 value bonus platinum business account for this mobile app. So what are you going to get when you get started today for just $997 by going to customercatcher.com/go? Well, you're going to get the 6-week Customer Catcher class, the software, the share funnels, the Customer Catcher Killer Communications, Customer Catcher Ninja, Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, all a total value of $14,552, plus the bonuses. The Q&A calls, those are worth tens of thousands of dollars in my time alone, and the other people that will be on there, their time. The cumulative value of time on those calls is going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you get it free if you're one of the first 17 people. You get to be involved in our private group, which is like a mastermind. That's where all the cutting edge things that we do get discussed and shared, and what works and what doesn't. Now, I'm going to pop off this, and I'm going to stay on the line and answer some questions if I can successfully maneuver this. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's embarrassing, but I'm going to do the best I can to pop over there when I'm on Facebook. Here we go. And see if I can answer some questions or see any questions. Magnifying glass, please. I want to learn how, if anybody knows, I would love if you would share in the comments. How do you stop screen sharing and not hang up on everybody? Because I would love to stop